Episode 55 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. Let's see what's on the menu for today. We have PM picks, what games we've been playing, what games are coming out soon. The old Switch revision. Let's talk about the next Switch console. Too many games. Some games are being left behind. The next Nintendo game to get Game of the Year mentions and games we are looking forward to for the rest of the year. So let's get it started. What's up, guys? Episode 55 of PNP, and like always, I'm joined by the best co-host on the planet, Joe After Work. What's up, man?
Yo, back from Comic-Con. That's what's happening. I had a blast. Bought some stuff. I got a lot of stuff here. Bobby might appreciate this one. I've waited patiently 2 years for this, but Camila from Fire Emblem Fates. Can't really see her in the box.
I just got a half a husky. What the hell? Let me see. I put that back up there.
Good Smile Company.
Oh my god!
Made this awesome. 2 years ago when Fire Emblem Fates came out. And this,
how much was that?
It was $175. People sell it online for like close to the same price, sometimes a little bit more. But I was like, no, I'm gonna wait patiently until I can actually buy this, and it just happened to be there. I buy it, and then it sells out the next day. So it was meant to be. It was meant to be. There you go, man. And then I went on a retro kick. Game Boy and PlayStation specifically. Solar Striker. This is where the shmups love came in. Originated. Quarth and
don't
Solar
use
Striker.
That word again, or I'm out.
Shmups.
That's the dumbest word in the world, man.
Shmups.
Shmupcast.
Shoot 'em ups. Shooters. Top down shooters. Whatever you want to call them.
Quarth is good.
Quarth is amazing. Solar Striker I loved. Freaking Resident Evil Survivor, which is
so why did you go to him first?
Talks about.
Doesn't matter how. Right?
Resident Evil Outbreak, because you know what? They're gonna come out on the Switch anyway. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. And something related to Nintendo because Monolith Soft, Xenosaga. Boom. There you go.
Nice, dude.
All hard games to find. And I wasn't gonna spend $50 on Quarth. I'm sorry.
Those things are dangerous. I can't go to those things. I spend way too much money. Mr. Barbarino, the Nintendo Goonarino. What's up, man? I don't know what that was.
No, nothing. How you guys? How you doing, Pat? Nothing.
I'm doing
nothing
excellent.
Here.
No?
I don't have 60 things to show you.
Woo! I know. I feel left out too. Bobby, you are playing a much anticipated game. How's that working out?
This one?
Mega Man. Oh, so you got the amiibo.
Yeah, about okay. Of course, dude. Of course. Come on.
Pre-order
this
it.
Is Bobby, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-ordered it from GameStop. Dude, I am in love with this game. I think this is the way you do a game. Not that Mighty Number 9 trash. This is how it's done. This is a Mega Man game to the fullest. It's what I'll admit, when they first showed the kind of 2.5D animation, the painted cells and stuff, I was like, man, Capcom, are you gonna be able to pull this off? They don't only pull it off, man. They knock it out the park. This thing is gorgeous. I was driving home from my mom's today because that's the thing that got me screwed up. So okay, so here we go. I will show you something. So because of this game, I bought this bad boy, the Hori D-pad.
Oh, nice.
Left Joy-Con, just because I need
welcome,
dude. Between that and the Satisfy, I'm almost 100% handheld now. I love these two things.
Team handheld, baby.
Didn't they just release an update that it doesn't drain your battery?
It doesn't drain the battery no more. That's why I bought it.
Okay.
That's why I bought it. When it first came out, when Joe first showed it to me, it drained the battery, even in sleep mode. Even if it was in sleep mode, it would still eat the battery. So I was like, nah, I don't want that thing. And now with the latest update, it fixed it. But so I was a little worried about Capcom bringing this game back and how it would play and how it would feel. Dude, it feels and plays fantastic. It's got a storyline. So far, I'm enjoying the story. It's nice. It's kind of like I don't want to say it's a prequel, but it's kind of like a introduction to how these characters all came about in the history of Dr. Light and Dr. Wily. Like I'm a fan. I'm a fan so far, and I'm loving it. I'm doing very well with it too. I was a little surprised about that. I thought the demo was giving me a hard time, and this hasn't really given me a hard time other than a demo. It's a lot of fun, dude. I'm loving it. Loving
And
it.
so the one with the amiibo is 40, but if you just get the game, it's 30. That's nice.
Something like that. Yeah, that is nice. I pre-ordered it from GameStop and I forgot, and it got shipped to my mom's house, so I didn't get it Tuesday. I had to go to my mom's today to go pick it up. I was going insane all week. I wanted to play it. So I mean, it's fine. But dude, it's I also get it comes with a bunch of stuff too. It's just not 40. Like it comes with a patch. It also comes with it's a Dr. Wily patch. Comes with a Dr. Wily patch. Comes with stickers. Comes with those things to clean the screen. I don't know why Capcom are giving them away like
microfiber cloths.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever, man. It's
well, that's good to hear.
And then it's and then the amiibo. The amiibo is awesome. I'm a little disappointed with Capcom though. They're putting a gold one of these out in Japan. They're only putting 10 out, dude. And
that's nuts.
You can only get it by a raffle.
What?
I know.
Bobby.
I'm really devastated, man, because I have every single amiibo. And this is one that I will never get. There's no way I can get it.
Isn't there like a gold Mario one?
I have the gold Mario.
How is that one in terms of rarity?
Pretty rare? It was really rare. But then when Nintendo started doing the reissues, it kind of loosened up a little bit.
Okay.
It was an exclusive to North America. And then they re-released it in North America, but they also released it in Japan. Europe never got it at all.
Jeez.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Joe, what about you? Non-PlayStation games, I'm hoping?
Dude, I mean, nothing really this past week. I was really at Comic-Con. I really had no time for gaming this past week.
Okay, so anyway, I'm also playing Allah's Awakening.
I was like, I played a little bit of Mega Man 11. Honestly, no, man. I tried starting up Valkyria. Mega Man 11, yeah, it's Mega Man. I mean, it feels and plays like it, but like a 2 point. I was explaining myself, man.
There's been some bad Mega Man games, you know.
How is it in terms of like how forgiving it is? Because like I have the Legacy, the first collection. I could barely play that game, man. Even with the rewind feature.
So in this one, they did a nice thing where there's all different skill levels. Yeah. They have like newcomer, which is like super easy. Like you got infinite lives. It's harder for them to kill you because your energy starts to recharge back up slowly. And if you fall off a cliff, a bird comes and scoops you up and carries you to wherever you want to go. So that one's, and then they got casual, which is a little bit harder. Then they got normal, and then they got like balls hard, and that's just forget that nonsense.
Well, that's good then.
But I like the use of the double gear system, like how that comes into play, and even like the introduction of it in the story, and how like it was this thing from years ago that Wily created, and Light reprograms it and everything. Like, hey, I had this piece. It almost makes it seem like Light was also like, you know, he held this thing for all this time, but didn't want to use it.
Light's kind of part of the problem.
Yeah, you know, so it's like there's a little bit of good and bad on both people's ends. Like it's real interesting.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I really am digging it. The art is fantastic, dude. Fantastic. Like, dude, the depth perception on the worlds is just, this game is gorgeous. It is hands down gorgeous, man. This is the Mega Man that I wanted, and I didn't know I wanted. This one just was that surprise that they just dropped him. Like, oh, by the way, new Mega Man coming this fall.
Wow.
And I was like excited then, and I'm even more excited now to actually be playing it. It's awesome. I'll probably beat it tonight.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice.
I'm like,
I mean, it's
flying through it, and I love it.
Relatively short game. You can beat it in about 5 to 6 hours, I've been hearing. If you're like sitting down and hunkering down, trying to figure out the patterns of like what enemy goes where and like what weapon to use on what.
That's not super hard though. You know what I mean? Like you start with the first character that was in the demo. You start with him, and then from there you just kind of read the names and go like, okay, like paper rock scissors. Man. This beat this and this beat that, and so it's kind of And even if you do get to a boss that you didn't pick the right item against, you can still zip through because it just takes a little bit more savvy to beat them.
Yep.
Yeah. Buster only run, Bobby. Do it.
Do it. And then I know you guys tune in for Nintendo games. These two, I don't think got the message, but Super Mario Party came out, and I have been loving this game.
Wait. What do you mean? This is a Nintendo game. It's on the Switch.
Third party. Whatever.
We got a good game. We play good games.
Super Mario Party is very, very fun. I would say it's probably the best Mario Party since like 6, which is saying something. I mean, the ones on the Wii were pretty good. I probably put in like 8 hours so far, and
who are you playing with?
Myself, dude. That's the best part, man. I played one game with my girlfriend, and that was great. We almost broke up after that. But it's been fun, dude. So here's the thing: there's a lot of modes. I'm not even necessarily worried about online. I wish it did have online because we'd be playing right now, probably.
Yeah,
but
it's the thing holding me back from getting it.
There's a lot of modes. Like I really like the river, the co-op mode where you're like all in a raft going down the river. But there's only like 10 mini games for that whole mode. And then there's another mode that has only 10 mini games. Like the online only has 10 mini games for that mode. So it's like they did a lot, but it's not really deep. It's very like shallow modes. There's only 4 game boards, which that's honestly my biggest problem. There's 3 at the start.
But you know they're going to bring more. They're going to bring more to this thing. There's no doubt there's DLC coming. They're going to bring, I bet you any amount of money, they bring in old boards. They bring in,
oh man,
like they'll revamp the boards and stuff and bring them in. Like I think they're going to spend some time on this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The boards themselves kind of on the smaller side. They're not as detailed as like past boards, but like if they bring in like some older ones or some newer ones, this could be a pretty good game. I like the mini games. I think it's a must own. If you have people over, you're gonna play some multiplayer, I think this is the game to own. I wish it was online, but I've never played a Mario Party online before, so it's not a deal breaker for me. There's rhythm. There's a rhythm mode for you, Joe. There's so I also want to clear one thing up, okay? So the mode where you need 2 switches for, you actually don't need 2 switches for. There are some games that you can play like just on the screen. There's a little baseball mini game for Bobby, so I mean, I would pick it up.
Look, man, that's not enough to sell me. Okay. Let me explain something to you, Pat. I live alone. Okay. I'm not playing Mario Party by myself. I play one thing by myself, and it's not Mario Party.
Bobby,
PG.
Hey, man, get your minds out of the gutter, man. I play Mega Man by myself.
He's talking
back off, man.
He's talking about Mega Man.
Sure.
Is that what you call him?
Little blaster down there. The characters, though, there's a ton of characters, man. I like it. There's some great parts of this game. There's some less than exciting parts, but I don't think it's bad as everyone says. Like, no online isn't the end of the world. For some people, I mean, I guess for Bobby it is because he didn't pick it up. But I would say pick it up. The main thing
for me is I don't know, man. I just don't have. I might get it. Especially, I didn't even think about it. Like Sean's coming here Tuesday, and Fiona McKinnon I think is coming as well. We're trying to get a couple other people, but dude, I could have even we could straight up, Joe. I could bring the Ojo. We could slam it on the wall in Rockefeller Center across from Nintendo and play. Let's do it, dude. Let's do it, man. Let's get a big 120 inch screen against the wall outside of Nintendo New York and play a Mario Party.
There you go. I'm the best salesman of this generation.
I'm down. Well, I'll make Joe buy it. We can bring the game.
Joe will buy it.
This guy. I'm still refraining on buying it right now. Like I will get it eventually, but I need to make sure there's enough people because I'm not playing it at home. Vanessa's not going to play it with me. So it's just like, all right, well, we got these mini games here, and there's a lot of mini games, don't get me wrong, but if there's not a lot of people to play them with, then I'm just buying Super Mario Party for the sake of having it here, and then that's just...
See, I think that if they would have had online, I would have played with the community. I would have streamed it a lot and played with the community. But this mode, this limited, it's just not.
That's the idea, but it's like, okay, the mini games. There's like 80 mini games or something like that you can play online, which is cool. But
you just said 10.
There's
there's
only 10 that you can play online.
What?
There's 80 in the game, but
80 in the game. Oh,
so the online
they
mode,
basically were like.
Yeah, the online mode is basically like a 5. Whoever wins 5 mini games, like wins this like mini tournament.
Can you play baseball online?
No, that's in like the Toads thing. That baseball mini game is so fun, dude.
Yeah, but you know what, man?
The
Red Sox are gonna lose to the Yankees. I would hate to play you online and beat you as well as that.
Oh man,
it's just not,
Oh man, I'm having fun with it, and I've been playing it mostly alone, so I would recommend it. If you think of it sort of as buying a board game, and even if you use it like once every 2 months, I feel like that's still a good purchase. I don't know.
Like a board game, yeah. I mean, you normally, if you're playing it as a party, you're playing board games as a party game. I can get that.
Yeah.
But man, 10?
Dude,
you know how quick you're gonna burn through those?
It's rough. I haven't tried the online either, so I don't know like the quality of it.
Oh man.
Talk to Jams. That Bargain Bros team. You could maybe do something.
Me and Jimmy could play it. I'm down. Any games you guys are looking forward to?
For when?
I mean, we have a bigger topic.
So later. Why don't we save that for the topic?
Okay.
let's just ruin the show by
By Child of Light. So the Switch, we have some news, big news actually. The Wall Street Journal of Japan, which I didn't even know that was a thing. They're reporting that the Switch is getting a revision or upgrade or basically another iteration. They're saying next year. I don't know if any details have come out. The only thing that I've heard is the screen quality, improve the screen quality. I wanted to shoot it to you guys. What do you guys think about the revision this early? Bobby, you're giggling over there. What do you think, man?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
You have nothing. What?
Listen, man, you guys, this is so. Why?
Out with it.
I just think that Marcus Sellers is cute, man. I think he's cute with his nonsense, man. Like he's acting like he called this.
Yep.
I
liked your apology video, Bobby. It was really good.
My apology video?
Yep.
Was that an apology video? Not yet.
I wish it was.
No, not yet. If he gets it right, I'll apologize.
Yeah.
If he gets it right, I'll apologize to him. I don't think he's getting it right, and I think that it's pretty BS that you get one thing potentially correct, and you're acting like everybody was jerks for basically saying you're full of crap. Look, we've all said this. It's nothing new. We've all been calling it. The minute they announced the Switch, I have felt like it will be upgraded time and again. 3 years is plenty of time to upgrade because, let's be honest, when the Switch launched, NVIDIA had a stronger chipset at the time. Nintendo chose not to go with that chipset. Nintendo waited a couple of years. And now I think NVIDIA is getting ready to do another chipset. So for Nintendo, it looks at it like, well, this one's going to be cheaper. So now we'll use this one. I did hear about the screen going to be 1080, but they're also apparently using the same technology that Apple uses with the XR, like the glass. I guess the glass is a different type of glass. So that's apparently something that Nintendo's looking at as well. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I think that it'll be a day one purchase for me. I don't care about any like I did it with the 3DSs. Like if it's a better version, I'll buy it. It doesn't, and I don't need these massive upgrades. Listen, Marcus, I don't need 4K. I don't need 128 gig, internal hard drive.
We
I
ain't
don't
getting
need
4K.
8 gigs of RAM. I don't save the BS, bro. Like it's not happening. Get out of your stop smoking that hash over in the UK, whatever it is you're smoking, and it ain't happening. Sorry, we're not.
Be nice, Bobby.
That is, dude. Let me tell you what. That's very nice because he's the king of removing tweets, and and Alan Paxton, my boy, tweeted and tagged him in something, and I replied, and then he had a real sarcastic response that he threw out there, and it's like, "F you, bro. I've been calling this since the pre-launch. Like, go through all the podcasts. How many times have you guys heard me say that this is going to become an upgrade thing? They're going to upgrade the tablet. They're going to leave the Joy-Cons off. All this stuff. I've been calling this forever. And he's acting like because he said that this thing's going to come next year, he got it right, and everybody else is just piggybacking now. No. Like, trust me, that was being nice. Because I do have some choice words that I would like to have a conversation with him about. Because I think he's being, like, he retweeted Pear's comments, taking a little jab at Pear. Like, he's acting like he nailed this. Yeah. Dude, first off, Nintendo hasn't said boo about this. That's number one. Second off, you haven't gotten anything right yet. So what are you doing here?
Mm-hmm. It's okay, Bobby. It's okay.
I'm just saying. I was being nice. That was being nice. Trust me.
Joe, I'll go to you. What realistically could we see with this next thing? Like any features that come to mind that you could definitely for sure see in this next revision?
As far as the stuff that has been mentioned, I can see a 1080 screen happening. I mean, we see it on the iPhones at this point, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep it at 720 and with the new graphics, like that new GPU has to happen at some point. That along with being able to keep the games that are coming out right now with these handheld issues where the video the quality basically degrades at certain points depending on how much is on the screen. The two infamous examples I'll forever give, Doom and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where it sometimes way more with Xenoblade than Doom. It'll drop down to like sub 480p on the handheld and just everything pixelates and it looks like a muddy mess. That and like some of the rendering issues that you'll see, and not so much issues, it's just like, oh hey, this texture hasn't fully loaded. I'll never forget the one time when I was playing early on in Xenoblade, no textures were populating at all, and I actually had to restart my Switch, and this was docked mode. We're talking docked mode. I was in the middle of a stream and it was happening. It was like, does this look weird to anybody else? It's like, dude, what the hell is wrong with your cartridge? Like, I have no idea. So rebooting it worked, but like issues like that, I feel like is what this next revision is going to happen. So better processor, better graphics card. I say very maybe on that screen being 1080 because I just feel like Nintendo focuses more on making things run a little like incremental upgrades rather than full blown out upgrades.
In terms of storage, that's been a big thing too. We see
I
a
think
bump
we get
at all.
64. I think we get 64.
Yeah. I can totally see like a higher internal storage for sure.
The prices, although I will say this, with the prices of SD cards coming way down right now.
Yeah, they're dirt cheap now.
Dude, the 400 gig is going for $100 on Amazon.
Yep.
That's insanity, man. I paid $200 for that thing. So
I've held off.
My thing is if it continues to drop like that, storage is becoming so cheap that I can see Nintendo going like, okay, we can upgrade a little bit. Or they might basically, what I would like to see Nintendo do, honestly, is this. I would prefer them keep it at 32, right? But pack in an SD card for like 64 or something like that.
Mhm.
That would probably be my, this way you don't have to change much with what you're doing, because the 3DS came packed in with a 4 gig. When you're
I was
back
gonna
in the
say,
day.
I was like, we'll be lucky if we get an 8 gig SD card, Bobby.
Yeah, but they're so cheap. But they're so cheap now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
and if
but
Nintendo buys them in bulk, it's going to be cheaper.
they're also
I mean,
selling
even
their
if they,
own SD card for like $200, dude, for 128.
With a little Zelda logo on there.
Yeah,
that's not them. Come on, that's not it. It's they're licensing it
yeah,
through
but
through SanDisk. It's SanDisk.
yeah, I know, but I
Yeah.
mean,
Nintendo
you really
slaps
expect
their
them
money on it.
to give us a higher SD card?
No,
or
I'm
a
not.
micro
I'm not
SD card?
expecting them to do that. I'm just saying I would like to see them do. Like if they're
No.
going to go 64, I would almost rather them go like 60, like 32. Well, maybe just go 64. You know
Yeah.
what? Screw it. Just go
I can-
64 gig.
Mhm.
I think we're definitely going to get an upgrade. 32, just I don't know.
It's
Just
too
doesn't
small.
feel like that's going to be the way it is anymore.
64 is
I mean-
even like, but at least it's something,
Yeah. Double is
Well,
always
It's
better.
be- It's it's like it's better than nothing.
But the thing is 64 for Nintendo is fine. It's when you get into
Yeah.
the third parties that's the issue.
Yeah.
Like and it's really only an issue when you're going digital.
Mhm.
Like Nintendo games don't have this thing where you got to dump the game. It's the game is the game for Nintendo.
Like I maxed
I
out-
look at games, I look at games that are like Doom and all that, where they're going like, "Hey, the game is on the disc, but if you want the online, you got to download that part of
Yeah.
it." And Capcom's doing that BS nonsense that they're doing.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, you could get this stuff on. There's only a couple of companies that actually made you buy the game and then get it downloaded. I think 2K did that, didn't they? Did 2K do part of it? Like
Bethesda did
you got the
that.
game and then
Yeah, you still have to download stuff. 2K is the
Yeah.
biggest game on the Switch right now.
yeah.
2K19. Even everything that we just mentioned really doesn't like excite me in terms of like upgrading.
Mhm.
Listen, we're all gonna upgrade because we're just like that. The black border that's around the Switch. Imagine if that was more screen. That's the only thing that I can really think.
Yeah, get rid of
That
the
bezel needs to go.
Yeah, but
'Cause
yeah,
I'll tell you
we'll
what.
all-
I'll tell you what. I never realized what a bezel does until I got this iPhone.
Mhm.
The phone is the same exact size as the 6 Plus, same exact size. And then I picked the 6 Plus up, and I was like, "Oh, it's the bezel.
Yeah,
The bezel's going now." And all of a sudden, that just opens up. You don't realize how much real estate opens up on it because of that. So,
Yeah,
man, if they eliminated the bezel on that, oh,
that'd be so
lights
good.
out.
beauty.
I'd be happy.
But that some people are saying summer. I'm not sure. It seems a little
Well,
soon, but
I think that's what Wall Street Journal said, didn't they? Didn't Wall Street Journal say like summer of 2019?
yeah.
So
Sounds
Here we
I don't
go.
know.
strange.
The new Switch XL with a Animal Crossing pack-in. That's how you get Bobby to buy 20. So
This would be my only issue. All right, this would be my only issue with Nintendo, because if they put out an Animal Crossing for
gonna
the
be
Switch,
digital.
no. If they put out I'm buying digital Animal Crossing no matter what anyway.
Mhm.
Like I want that thing no matter where I go. I don't want to have to change discs and all that, or cartridges and all that stuff. I want it there. That's what I did on the 3DS. No, if they put out a special edition console, right, and then a couple months later release this new one, I'm going to be pissed, because
yeah.
I'm buying an Animal Crossing console if it comes out day one. Don't want to hear nothing about it. Like I'm pre-ordering that thing. I started saving already for it. So my thing is if they do this and then 3 months later they pop a, I'll be going to Washington myself.
He'll be pissed as he's like taking more money out.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
I honestly, it might be the one time that I might go, can't justify it. I'm gonna have to
Wow.
wait. Like, cause
Yeah.
don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
just hold off then on the Animal Crossing console. Don't put out a second rate one and then 3 months later put out a high end one. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's honestly my reasoning for the Pikachu one, the Pikachu Eevee one. It's like next Switch I buy is gonna be when the upgrade happens. That's just how it's gonna be.
Quick take here, guys. This will be the first revision. When it's all said and done, how many more revisions are we gonna get for the Switch?
We're gonna get. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna say
Because the 3DS had about 500. So
6.
6? Oh God, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's console life cycle has been like 7 years the last 2 generations, right? Roughly. Get one.
Damn.
My thing is
Years.
this. This is the way I did. This is the math I did. They have a 20-year contract with NVIDIA. The Switch don't disappear for 20 years. I feel like this is the console for Nintendo. Unless handheld gaming disappears in Japan.
Nah, man.
What do you mean, nah, man?
20 years of a Switch.
I wouldn't
You're
want
thinking
that.
no. You're thinking 20 years of that Switch. You got to think the 3DS.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch brand.
What I'm saying is the DS was more than 7 years. The DS went forever because they went DS, DSi, DSi Lite, then they went 3DS, 3DS XL, and then they did the new 3DS XL, then they went to 2DS, then they went to 2DS XL. You look at that lifespan.
I can see it like that,
15 years, man.
If you're talking about like DS like that, then yes. But
and that's the thing. They're not getting rid of this component, this setup. They might make adjustments and tweaks to it and do things, but this is a home run for Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate way for them to be able to, because here's the thing. If they come out and they put out a new console, they are immediately DOA just because of the fact it will never have the power that PlayStation and Xbox has. And third parties will not support it. There's a novelty here. And the novelty is it's a handheld and it's a home console. So you're able to cater to 2 regions without even, and only with one SKU. And you couldn't do that. Like in Japan, everybody bought the 3DS. They didn't buy the Wii U. In the United States, everybody bought the Wii U. Now you look at it, everybody's buying the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't think that we see this, and they wouldn't have signed a 20-year deal with NVIDIA if that was the case. So what I did was I just took the 20 divided by 3 because we figure once every 3 years they do it. That's 6.
Yeah,
maybe
I'll say
7.
4.
You really think 4? If they're already doing one, it's not even 3 years.
I was gonna say I'm going based off because I can see it coming out next year. I can see it coming out in 2020. Either one seems like a logical thing that could happen in terms of upgrades. If I'm going based off like, hey, let's say the rumors are true that we get a new one next year, by like 2024, I would imagine we're getting like that next, like Guru was just saying about like the next iteration of like, okay, here's that Switch life cycle now. Whatever the next name of the Switch is, if they decide to change the name but use the same Switch functionality of like the Joy-Cons popping in and out and all that stuff, that be the next generation cycle for this handheld.
They need to also take a page from Apple and just call the next one Switch 2, then the next one Switch 3, the next one Switch 4, and just move that way. Because if you think about it in terms of like a tablet or a phone, they get upgraded all the time. Like you think about it, like here's the newest iPhone, right? It's changed drastically from the beginning, but here we are 10 years later and they're still making iPhones. So when you look at it from those perspectives, that's what I feel like the Switch is going to be. The Switch will stay for a very long time, even when, because I'm reading articles now where they're like, oh well, it's going to go away once Sony and Microsoft, upgrade to their next consoles. No, it's not. You idiots. All they do is upgrade the chipsets. And it's like they're right now putting games like Wolfenstein and Doom and all that stuff on this thing. If they upgrade the console next year, then they should start to be able to bring more of those third-party games over, right? Because I guarantee you, this has a lot to do with Square. I guarantee you, Square is going to them and saying, man, if you just had a little bit more oomph in your console, we could bring Final Fantasy Remake over. We could bring Final Fantasy 15 over. We could bring these games over. And I think Nintendo's looking at that and going like, okay, let's do this. And I guarantee you that when PS5 and Xbox 2, when they hit, you're going to see another iteration on this thing.
There's going to be a lot of unhappy Switch fans.
I don't think it will, because if they do this thing where they go, if they treat it like Apple, do people get mad at Apple when Apple does a new iPhone? No, they all line up and buy a new one.
Yeah, but the games that are going to come out are not going to be able to work on this Switch right here.
No,
you don't know that, though.
Yeah.
Why can't Nintendo games work on that Switch?
Unless they're cloud games.
Why can't Nintendo games work on that Switch?
If you have to upgrade the Switch to play these games,
you're not answering my question. Why can't Nintendo games play on that Switch?
Because you need a better Switch to play those games. That's basically what you were saying.
Not Nintendo. Third party is one thing. Nintendo games will stay on that Switch.
Yeah, Nintendo games.
Yeah. So most parents buy buy a Switch for that. Listen, you can't. And here's the other thing. So I can play Fortnite on this, right? Mm-hmm. Can't play Fortnite on the 5. Can't play Fortnite on the 6. We've already been accustomed to that kind of mindset. And parents have definitely been building for that kind of mindset. Because I guarantee you there was a lot of parents that upgraded kids' phones this year because they couldn't get Fortnite for their kids on it, on the old phones. So that's what I'm saying. If Nintendo takes a page from Apple's book and just utilize, like, forget about Sony, forget about Xbox. They have to focus on Google and Apple, what they're doing. And if they word it very similarly, like, nobody got mad when Apple came out and was like, because that's the first thing everybody asked. Will we be able to play these games on the 4? Because when everybody had the iPhone 3 and the iPhone 4 came out, everybody was like, wait, all these games you showed, can we play them on the 3? Because I have a 3 and I don't want to upgrade. They were like, no, it's going to be on the 4. Moving forward, we'll make it where they'll kind of, but after it hits so many years, of course it's going to not be able to play it.
Yeah.
But as long as, here's the thing, as long as they play it smart, where they go, hey, the new Switch is $300. This model of the Switch is now $200. And then the next year, they go, this is $300, this is $200, and that one's $100. You would hear zero complaints from anybody. If they go, this is $300, and last year's model is $300, and the first year's is $300, people are going to lose their minds on them. Yeah. But if they play it smart, nobody will say a word.
Okay. Switch 2, though, I don't know, man. You think they would keep the name in there? Be so bold, the Wii U.
If they're smart, they will. They get into that stupid new Switch SXL 9 cents 55 cents. They're done. Forget about it. Like, they can't do that stuff. They have to keep. The problem is they let Japan run stuff. Yeah. In Japan, the word "new" is this crazy, like, it's like a good luck charm. Apparently, it's like so they named everything new. It's so stupid. Just name the thing too. Get on with it.
Oh man! So be on the lookout. Next year we have the Switch XL. I'm gonna say XL. Joe, Gaming Rut.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Let's cheer you up right now.
Oh no!
That's because you're playing that PlayStation. That's why.
Oh man, that Vita, that non-existent console. Sorry, I'm playing one of apparently the greatest RPGs of all time, which I'm actually really impressed with. But with that said, yeah. So let's see. We were talking about Mega Man 11. We talked a little bit about Super Mario Party. I want to get into Mega Man 11 at some point, but I don't have the mindset to play that game. So I picked it up because I had that thing pre-ordered day one. And I was just like, this kind of goes into the conversation we were having in the last episode a little bit. It's kind of like part 2 right now, but gaming ruts, like, I don't think I'm in a rut because I'm clearly playing Xenogears right now and I'm having a blast playing that game. But in terms of new games that are coming out, I'm just like, all right, Starlink's coming out next week. I'm like, my hype is mediocre right now all of a sudden, even though, like, I was, like, really intrigued by what I saw of that. And then Dark Souls, when I played that beta, that was just kind of like, all right, I don't think this game is for me at all. And that kind of went out the window. Everything I'm hearing from Super Mario Party, I'm just like, oh, this is disheartening. I wanted to pick this up and I wanted to play this game, but no. And again, yeah, like I need to be in a certain mood for a platformer, and I'm not there yet. So I'm just like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on like what you guys do in like situations like this, where like, do you find yourself just going back to older games out of nowhere that are like 15, 20 years older?
No, I don't go that far. I'm not that crazy. I'm not that mental. No, for me, because I'll be honest with you, most of this year I've struggled to find games that I want to play. Like there's been numerous times I've turned my Switch on, flipped through the games, and was just like, don't want to play nothing, and turn it off and walk away.
Yeah,
because there's just nothing. I feel like I'm on the wording's escaping me at the moment. Like I feel like I've been drunk off of Zelda and Mario and all this stuff that happened in 2017. And I feel like 2018 is the hangover. Like it's just like I can't get up because none of the games are on that level at this moment. And there were so many fantastic home runs in 2016, or I mean 2017, that 2018 kind of fell flat for me to some degree. And don't get me wrong, there's been some great games
yeah.
this year, but nothing that's gotten me like I have to play and drop all kinds of hours into. I'm actually looking at 2019 and going like, I'm feeling my hype level starting to lift again because I'm going like, that's what I want. That's what I want. And I'm getting ramped back up again for Nintendo and the Switch. But what I did during this was I just stuck with what I enjoyed, which was Fortnite, and that was my go-to. I just kept because what happens is you start to feel guilty that you're buying these games and you're not playing them. And so what I did was I just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to play Kirby. I'm not going to play Donkey Kong. I'm going to play Fortnite. Like that's the game I'm enjoying right now. I'm going to keep going back to it. And then eventually I just broke out of my rut and just then Dead Cells hit and the Messenger hit and now Mega Man's hitting and Alawa's Awakening hit. And so now I'm starting to get back into the rhythm where it's like now I'm finally up out of my haze. I took a couple Advil, had some McDonald's to clean out my stomach, and had a couple bananas, and I feel good now. You know what I mean? Now I'm ready to 20. But I think that's the problem. The problem is you get in this mindset that I have to keep I have to keep playing these games, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
If they're not talking to you, just might not be the time for them. Just hit a pause and move forward. Play what you enjoy. You're in a different situation because you stream. And you have to play stuff every single night. You know what I mean? Or whenever the nights that you stream. So you can always go back to older stuff and maybe there's stuff that you missed in 2016, 2017. Play that stuff.
And that's the funny thing. I looked back at that and I was like, dude, there's all these Nier. I've been talking about Nier for the last 2 years and I've still not turned on the PS4 to play the damn game. It's like, oh, I'm going to play Xenogears. And it's like, but wait, you have Valkyria Chronicles 4 to like jump into. Like, dude, this year has been awesome in terms of like JRPGs. And clearly I'm not JRPG'd out because I freaking picked up a freaking 60-hour JRPG that I'm playing right now. Streaming wise, I'm just like, I'm good. I'm playing Resident Evil again. I'm having a blast with that. But it's kind of like what you're saying. Like, it doesn't seem like right now, this like past like 2-3 weeks, much has been speaking to me. Like, I wrapped up Xenoblade Chronicles. It started with the Torna DLC, and I was like, I was really upset about that, and it just kind of went like from there, and I was just like, damn, what the hell's going on? So I'm hoping Starlink, when that comes out, that's kind of like the all right, here we go.
I didn't even realize that was coming out next week.
Yeah, Jesus. I think 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah,
but The World Ends With You comes out as well.
but that's a totally different game, and I think that's something you could wrap your head around and enjoy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this topic because this year has been such a mixed bag for, like, I'm pretty sure if you lined up 10 people, they would all have different opinions about this year because
Yeah.
the ports alone, like whoever didn't own a Wii U, those are great games. I mean, Hyrule Warriors, you can alone put like 300 hours into. The games that have come out and have spoke to me this year, it's not that I'm not enjoying them. It's they're pretty short experiences. Like Kirby only took like 4 or 5 hours. Mario Tennis, everyone was hyped on that, and then it kind of fizzled out. Mario Party, Mario Party is not a game that I'm binging. I mean, I am right now because it's new, but that's a game, like I said before, I kind of treat it like a board game, so I pick it up. I think right now is a really dangerous time to get into bigger games, though, because you have Pokemon coming out next month and then Smash coming out. So it's like you want to pick up some big games, but it's like those games are just like in the back of my mind. Pokemon's going to take a lot of time. I'm not a really big Smash fan, but the competitive nature of it is going to like take up a lot of time. So I would say value the time that you have because 2019 is going to be another mess. I remember when we started this podcast, we were like, dude, what? I can't find time to play. And now it's kind of like Bobby was saying, like getting off that high. So I think it's a nice time right now. I like right now, but I can hear what you're saying though.
Because my thing was this, right? So I was playing Hyrule Warriors. I was playing a little bit of Kirby, Tropical Freeze. Not really feeling it too much. Jumped into Fortnite, bought Hollow Knight, bought Octopath, and I just wasn't ready for those two games. I wasn't ready for Hollow Knight. I started Hollow Knight a bunch of times and just keep stopping. I can't get into that game right now. I don't know what it is.
I'm on the same note with that one.
Octopath, I started playing it. I love it. Just can't. Something is just not letting me play. I don't know what it is. I bought Undertale the other day, and it might just be the RPG thing. Like maybe I'm just not in the mindset to play an RPG at this moment. Because I bought Undertale, and man, that game better pick it up because I think it's pure garbage right now.
Uh-oh.
And there's people out there that are like head over heels in love with this game, and I'm going, why? Why?
It's a quirky game.
Where are you seeing this at? Because I'm not seeing it right now. So I just feel like maybe it's just me. I know it's just me. It's me where my mind isn't ready for those games at the moment.
Yeah.
So rather than just write them off, I'm just setting them aside at the moment, and I'm just looking forward to some other stuff.
It did remind me of Undertale. My special edition showed up, so that one, yes, that one I want to play.
But yeah, the next couple months you have some big games to play. Starlink, I'm one of the biggest Star Fox fans. Still on the fence. I'm probably gonna pick it up, but still on the fence a little bit. My next topic is going to be about Game of the Year. What? What do we do?
You missed it. He gave you the only disapproval and then drank his Coca-Cola.
He doesn't get to comment on Star Fox, okay? Game of the Year. Last year,
I'm going to comment on good things, not bad things. So
you'll like this topic then. This time last year, we were all Zelda crazy. It's definitely going to win Game of the Year. Actually, around this time, we were like, is Mario going to win it? Like, it was kind of... But this year, like we were saying before, games really haven't stuck out too much or, to be in this conversation of Game of the Year. So I wanted to ask you guys, not necessarily this year, not necessarily next year, but what do you think is the next game from Nintendo to be considered Game of the Year? Like Game of the Year caliber game. Before we start, I just want to go through the past few winners. Breath of the Wild last year, Overwatch the year before that, The Witcher 3, Dragon Age Inquisition, which is questionable. That's all I have from 2014. Let's see.
So I think Nintendo's I don't think Nintendo can win Game of the Year this year.
No.
They don't have anything that
but
can
they
win
can
Game
have
of
a
the Year.
nominee, and I know it's not Nintendo developed, but it is exclusive. Octopath. It's a very
possible, but
game.
I don't think that would get nominated for maybe RPG or something like that. But Game of the Year, if it gets nominated, there's no way
Yeah.
it beats like God of War.
No.
and
And I think
Spider-Man
that
and
game
stuff like that.
probably takes that title, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
just saying, like, what's the next game to win it? Or a game that you think could win it.
Well, I think what we need to look at is what Nintendo game is going to be a contender. Man, I look at it's tough, and I think I got to kind of go with Joe and say Octopath is probably the surprise of the year in terms of like nobody really saw that. I mean, we all saw it coming, but nobody saw the firestorm that came out of it. Like I just said a minute ago, like I couldn't play that much of it. But dude, what I did play, like the game is fantastic. Really is. The art style is tremendous. The music is fantastic. The story and the way you can jump from character and change up the stories kind of based on your parties and doing all, I thought it was fantastic. I think it's a great game. So I'm probably leaning towards that would be, I would think, represent Nintendo this year.
That hurts to say because one got shafted. That came out butt crack of winter. Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Dude, that game should be in all reality, in all fairness, that game should have been considered. Like for the Game Awards, it fell in that time period where they just won't consider it.
I mean, it was the following week that game, the Game Awards was happening.
That game is really, but even so, it still falls into last year, so we couldn't even consider it here.
Yeah.
Damn crime.
Besides Breath of the Wild, Odyssey was a nominee last year. 2016, Nintendo didn't have one. 2015, Super Mario Maker was a nominee. 2014, Bayonetta 2 was a nominee. So, for me, the next Nintendo game, I think, to win a Game of the Year is probably between Metroid and Bayonetta 3.
Oh, so you're not even talking this year. You're just
I'm talking about in general.
Animal Crossing, man.
The Bobby Awards.
The Bobby Awards. Yeah.
If you're looking at that, the next Nintendo game to win a Game of the Year.
Let's look at the list.
That's surprising to see Super Mario Maker even get nominated.
That game was hype when it came out, to be honest with you. Everyone was on that.
See, part of the problem is we don't know what Nintendo has in the chamber.
We kind of do, though. I can run down part of the list. No, bro. Check it. So, okay, we're starting off with a port.
He said win, not get nominated. Win.
Yeah, no. I know, but I'll show you the list so far because you already mentioned two. One of them still a maybe, but I'm on the notion that we get Metroid next year. So
I don't think we're getting Metroid next year.
Okay, Yoshi's Crafty World, blah. Town, blah. Pokemon Gen 8, blah. We can knock that out. Animal Crossing. Although, actually, well, Pokemon Gen 8, depending on what they do here, that could pull something. I don't know. That's a little biased on my end, though. Bayonetta 3. Right? And then David Ex Machina, I don't know. And then Mario Bros. U Deluxe is a port. But we don't know, again, Fire Emblem 3 Houses as well.
So
that's
games
3
next year.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You can't
not nominated win. Not nominated win.
Can a franchise besides Mario, Zelda, and Metroid win a Game of the Year?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna let you guys have this battle out. I really have to poop.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
I'm done. I'm done with Joe. Guys, if you are into podcasting or enjoy talking about Nintendo, we have a third chair.
Team. We can just go 2-man.
2-man.
We can go 2-man. Yeah, they go 2-man.
No problem.
We don't need him. This is ridiculous. Who does this? Who legitimately does this?
I don't know.
In the middle of the show, I've never in my life seen someone just go, I gotta go to the bathroom and just get up and walk out. Like, he thinks he's on Jams's podcast.
Maybe that sounds like a Sean thing. Maybe Sean
wouldn't even do that. Sean is very professional. This guy is just hot trash in the summer.
Probably still has his headphones on too.
That's fine. Let him have them on. You're garbage, Joe. I can't believe you did this to us.
You think Metroid's going to be on that level, though?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I don't. So here's the thing. I don't think Metroid hits next year.
Mm-hmm.
If Metroid hit next year, I think it's easily Game of the Year. Next year, I don't think Sony has a Game of the Year contender. I think Sony's basically shot their wad. Of course, it all depends on when Last of Us.
Yeah.
If Last of Us comes out next year, that's probably going to be your Game of the Year.
They have that funky looking samurai game that looks good. Forgot what it's called.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Just stop, please. So when you look at Nintendo, I don't think Yoshi will ever win Game of the Year. Never going to happen. Fire Emblem has a very solid chance, but I think it all depends on how they do that game and what they do. So far, what I've seen of it, I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah,
I like it. If they keep the creepy like incest stuff out, they could have a strong contendership. Like what they did with Fates, the face petting and all that, like all that controversy, I think that game.
Yeah.
But now that it's not on a handheld, because handheld games typically never got nominated for Game of the Year. Now this is kind of like, hey, it's on the Switch. It's different. You know what I mean? So maybe Fire Emblem could be the one, I think, that could do something. But other than, and I don't even consider Bayonetta really a Nintendo property. I consider it more of a Sega Platinum property.
Yep.
Like, yes, Nintendo's funding it. This guy.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think
my stomach.
I think that was quick. I think Metroid is the saving grace. I think for if we're talking about Game of the Year.
It also depends when it lands. If it goes up against, I got news for you, man. This game goes up against Last of Us. I don't think nothing is beating Last of Us.
Yeah.
I don't think anything has a chance against Last of Us.
Joe, is there anything of value coming out next year for like PlayStation or Xbox?
So let's see, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I think that's the game that you were talking about with the ninjas. Sorry, I did have my headphones on.
I don't know, the guy that was running in the Game Award, that game looked cool.
Yeah. Oh no, Ghosts Shadows of Tsushima. That's what it was.
Yeah.
There's that one. There's Last of Us 2. Sekiro's another game. There's a few games, but I think it's and that other zombie game that's just like Last of Us.
But that's coming out this year, isn't it?
Is it?
I thought it was coming out this year.
That sucks. But yeah, no, Last of Us 2 is going to be their headliner next year, without a doubt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that has to be, because
you're talking about Days Gone, aren't you? I think
Days Gone. There you go. Yeah. I thought that got delayed to early next year.
It might have. It very possibly well could have.
I feel like it got delayed to early next year, and then Last of Us 2 would probably be a fall 2019 game, maybe a 2020, but I mean, that's rough, because then you fall into that territory of like console generation switching and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like Bobby said, if that game comes out next year, that's kind of it. That's the meteor coming down at the end of Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth style, just like attacking everything.
If Yoshi wins it, we'll change the name of this podcast to Bobby's Crafted World. That's what we'll do.
Basically, yeah.
Speaking of games that are coming out, what games are we looking? Actually, I'm stealing Bobby's topic. Games we're looking forward to playing this year. Stole it. Joseph.
Looking at my lists. Yomawari. I know.
We just wanted one. I just wanted one. It wasn't a whole list.
No, I know.
Yomawari.
Yomawari.
What's the one game that you're looking to on the Switch?
Oh, from
this
Nintendo
year.
directly? Well, then I don't think I
No,
have
no,
much of a
it doesn't have to be.
choice.
It has to be on the Switch. I don't want PlayStation.
yeah.
This is the Planet Nintendo
Bro,
podcast.
you see this list? This is all Nintendo Switch games
Holy
that I
crap.
have
But what I'm
right
saying
here
is, I just
for
want
the next 2
the
months.
topic was one game.
Yeah.
It's the one game you're looking
And I
forward
said,
to.
let me look at my list. Come
I
on,
don't
man.
want the list. I want one game.
Come on, man.
Ah.
Oh no! But honestly, Inti Creates Dragon Marked for Death is probably the one that I'm like,
Wow.
Inti Creates.
Really?
Like I buy anything from them. They're I bow
Oh
to
yeah,
them.
that mighty
Yeah.
number 9. They crushed it with that.
Well, they
That was a
only
dark time.
developed that one. And listen, they made like all those Mega Man ZX games. That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with Inti. They didn't write the story. They worked on that.
It had nothing to do with story. Listen, the story had nothing to do with how bad that game.
Anything they did, they followed. That was it. That was, dude. How do you do Gunvolt? Hold on, no, hold on. Rant time. How do you make Gunvolt the greatest freaking like Mega Man Zero type game, and then go to that? That is not on
That's
them.
what I
You can't
wanna
put
know.
you can't put
How do
that
you
on
do it?
Inti.
That's
You can't
who
put
do you
that
put
on
it
Inti.
on? They developed the game.
What was the name of the Keiji Inafune's company?
Inafune is an
Concept.
artist.
Concept. Like that's all
Inafune-
Concept's in. I'm sorry, you can't put that on Inti for that.
Concept is Inafune. Inafune is just an artist.
He's the one this was his brainchild. This was his development company. I'm sorry. You can't put that on Inti Creates.
You know what
Bro, they worked on Mega Man 9 and 10 and freaking all the ZX series on the Game Boy Advance and the DS.
So what you're telling me is Star Fox Zero is bad because of Nintendo, not Platinum.
Probably.
Yeah.
How do you go from Bayonetta 1
No,
to
yeah, that is
like,
Nintendo's fault. That is Nintendo's fault.
Bro, you can't because you know what? They have their like directions. Like, no, you have to do it this way. How are you gonna? It can't all entirely be on
don't know what the
one
hell
company.
he's doing. He's an
Well,
artist.
then that's how you get Mighty Number 9. Thank you. I rest my case.
Bobby, what about
I'm sorry. It's gotta come both ways.
Turn his mic off. Turn his mic off.
I wonder who's
I'm not in
recording
the control room.
For me, and this is gonna be crazy. Let's go Pikachu. Let's go Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
I am so ready for this game. I can't even wait for this game. Like I am amped up. I'm ready to dive in, really play this a lot. I've been stockpiling Pokemon in, Pokemon Go to kind of transfer in. I'm loving this game. I really am. I'm loving the idea behind it. I'm loving everything because I feel like it's basically a precursor because it'll get me into the next Gen 8 when that hits because it'll give me that feel. It's almost like to me, this is the way I feel. I feel like Pokemon Go was the baby step, or this Pokemon Go was the crawl. This Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu will kind of be like the baby steps, and then I'll be ready for the next one to go. I missed the whole thing. I mean, like I don't know what these characters are and what they do, but the more I dive in, the more I read about, the more I watch. Like I've been on these YouTube channels watching all this Pokemon stuff. Like I'm really diving in head first with this stuff. Like I'm really loving this.
Got him, Pat.
I can't wait.
We got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I have the same game, Pokemon, but for kind of different reasons. Part of me is super excited about this game. Pokemon coming to the Switch, one step closer to getting rid of the 3DS. But coming to the Switch, but it does scare the hell out of me because it is very different from what everyone's used to. There's crucial things that are being taken out of this version.
Like what?
Pokemon effects.
What do you mean by that?
Like, for example, like in the game, if you throw out like a Charizard, the Pokemon that you're facing, it's called Intimidate. That's like Charizard's thing. So like they'll lose attack power. Every Pokemon has like a different effect. Like some Pokemon do better in the sunlight.
Their abilities, right?
Their abilities, yeah. That's
okay.
So they're
But see, that's what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm talking. So for me, right, it's that step to learn more.
Yeah.
I don't think Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is for you guys. Like, I think it is, because you're fans of the series, but I don't think this is the game you guys really want.
Yeah.
This is the game that teaches me how to get to that next step.
Yeah.
And that's what has me excited. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like, when you're saying, like, oh, I don't, like I just said to you, I don't know what the hell it is. So, to me, it's like, okay, let me learn what I learned from this game. Then, with the next game, then I'll be even ready because I'll have the evolution smaller for me. It's closing the gap and getting me to those games without a big learning curve. If I went and just picked that game up, whatever the Gen 8 game is, I'm going to be lost in the sauce, man. I'm not going to have a clue what's going on. Now, at least I'll have an idea, a better idea. That's what has me excited about.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
I'm excited. No, but I'm excited for other reasons too, because there's a lot of Pokemon out there. And to get into a new generation, like to relearn like all different Pokemon and stuff, it's nice to just go into it with you like knowing everything. Like I'm sure me and Joe could like pick out all these Pokemon easily. I mean, so it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited for that. I was actually excited for Mario Party and Pokemon. Smash is just like the cherry on the top. It's just gonna be like competitive. It's gonna be fun to play with people.
Yeah.
But for me, Mario Party and Pokemon are like the only games that I really care about. And also Katamari. That's just
Oh yeah, I
So-
forgot about them.
So I'm curious about something, guys. With this game, this is based in Kanto, correct?
the first. Yep.
And that's the first 151 or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what this game will be based on. Like, that's the Pokemon that'll be in the game. So all the other ones, Phoenix and all those ones that have come recently, they won't be in this game, correct?
No, they
Okay, so
shouldn't.
we're just going to have 151 Pokemon, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I got to deal with this stupid Rattata and all that stuff again.
Yeah. Honestly, Bobby, I would suggest picking up like a Pokemon, what do they call it? Handbook type thing where it literally shows every single Pokemon.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to use that. I like it.
Yeah.
Or Celebi has something, right? Celebi? Don't they have something on that website?
Oh yeah, there's different websites. I like a handbook.
Oh yeah,
that
the
I can
handbook
just-
is like fine.
Yeah.
Perfect Pokedex. GameStops
Yeah.
usually sell them like all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
was
might
gonna
pick
say,
another one up because I don't know. Like, there's a few gens that I don't even.
Yeah, there's
So-
a whole block of just like where I didn't play Pokemon, so I'm like, who's what?
Yeah. So those are the games that we are looking for. I think that is episode 55, guys. So let us know where we can find you. I don't want to say it this week. Bobby, where can they find you?
NintendoGuru.com. Good place to go. On
Awesome.
Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. Joe?
Yo,
Joe?
I would normally say the website, but we're almost at 1,000 followers on twitch.tv/show
Hey.
after work. We're right there. It's crazy. And we're giving away 2 Nintendo classics.
Go
There you go.
follow
Go
this
over
guy.
there.
Go watch him dance.
Yeah.
Go watch him pet Japanese girls. It's a great time.
Oh man, and we're going through all the RE games right now, so if you're into Resident Evil, go for it.
Stay spooky. All right. And you can find me here. If you're watching the audio version, you can NintenTalk, see the video version. Basically, it's just a lot of Bobby shrugging and disappointment and Joe just kind of laughing. That's pretty much what you're missing.
Yeah.
We will see you next week, episode 56. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Peace out, Chris.
You mother.